No Saka, no problem. Ethan Nwaneri contributing to a big Arsenal comeback win yesterday. They came from behind to beat Brentford, the first Premier League fixture of 2025. The second in the Premier League, 6 points behind Liverpool, who do have a game in hand. The result, probably a vindication for Arteta. Made a few changes yesterday. Had to because of illness in the camp. Kai Havertz had to be driven home and isolated because they didn't want to spread the virus through the camp. And Gabriel Jesus scored Arsenal's equaliser, 6 goals in his last 4 games. He'd previously scored 6 goals in his last 48 matches. It's some upturn in form for him. I think they reacted well to going a goal behind.
Yeah, I do as well. I think we all feared the worst for them when Brentford took the lead, given Brentford's excellent home record. But Arsenal did what potential champions have to do and found a way to scrap back into the game, and then in the end won fairly convincingly. And you talk about the form of Gabriel Jesus, that was a proper striker's finish as well, wasn't
really
it?
Good,
proper poacher's finish.
Yeah.
So he's obviously been a massive player for them over the festive period. Maybe it was a good time to go to Brentford. Their defence has been hit by more injuries, and obviously they lost their previous home game to Forest as well. But as I say, from behind, that's still a statement win. And you mentioned they're 6 points behind with a game in hand. I still think they're going to be a lot closer to Liverpool come the end of the season. I don't think they're going to reel them in, but I do think Liverpool will have a blip.
You never know. Arsenal fans will certainly be hoping that they can do that. 03717 223344 if you're an Arsenal fan, you want to react to that performance last night. I actually thought they were playing really well before they conceded the goal, Arsenal. They were completely dominant early on in that match too, and then didn't really get themselves in front, conceded a goal on the counter-attack or a quick turnover, and then all of a sudden they look as if they've got an uphill battle. But I think the turning point in the game, I don't know how much of it you saw, but David Raya basically fumbles a shot from Keane Lewis Potter. It sort of slips out of his hands, goes behind him.
You saw that, yeah.
And he runs back, claws it away from the line, and they use the GDS to sort of work out that it's actually not over the line. That happens 50 seconds before Jesus' goal. And those 2 moments, I think, completely turn the tide back in Arsenal's favour in the game. And then obviously after half-time, bang, bang, and then they're away. Yeah,
there's a massive difference, isn't there, between going 2-0 down, only 1-0 down. But yeah, it was almost an embarrassing moment for the goalkeeper. I mean, how do we see it in terms of the Premier League title? You've been saying for a while that you still think Arsenal should be the favourites or are going to win
favourites.
it.
No, I said
because Liverpool are about 1-7 now, although they were going into that game.
There's no way they can be the favourites, but they can be the value bet, and I think they are the value bet because 12 days of festive football has seen them take maximum points. They haven't got the same sort of variation in attack as Liverpool, and Liverpool are front runners, and they've got so much more going forward than Arsenal that they should really get the job done. But I just think Arsenal have got the mentality, the recent mentality of missing out. They'll want to push Liverpool all the way. They want to take advantage of Manchester City's slip. And things change really quickly. We've already seen that once this season, how quickly it changed. And there was a point where all of a sudden Chelsea looked like they might even go top above Liverpool before that Everton game. Then they threw points away there. They've gone on a downward spiral. So, very quickly things can turn in the Premier League. Thomas Frank actually said yesterday, he said, I know why Arne Slot says Liverpool haven't won anything yet. Because he looks at this Arsenal team and he thinks they are still contenders. Do Arsenal fans still believe that this morning? 03717 223344. If you want to get in touch, do you believe that they can still be contenders?
I think they can still be contenders. I just think they've given Liverpool too much of a head start. But it's a huge period coming up for Arsenal. They go to Brighton on Saturday. Brighton not in brilliant form, is it? No wins in 7, I think, now for them. But at home, they don't lose very often. Then, of course, they've got a couple of big cup ties. Newcastle, first leg of the semi-final of the EFL Cup. Manchester United at home. They've got a London derby at home to Spurs. They've got Villa as well. So it looks a tricky run of games, particularly without Bukayo Saka. If they can come through those, if they can get to the middle of January and try and close that gap somehow, then I think we're in for a brilliant end of the season.
You talked there about no Bukayo Saka, but Ethan Nwaneri came into the team yesterday, played really well. He's obviously going to play slightly differently to Saka. He's going to play a little bit more inside. He's not going to go down the outside as much, but he's able to create, and he did that for the 3rd goal, whipping the ball into an area which was defended, came out to Martinelli, and he got the seconds. He's only 17 years of age. I mean, I was at his first game we played at Brentford when he was 15 and he came off the bench to be the youngest ever Premier League player. But he
disappeared for a while after that, didn't he?
Well, he's 15.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to be very careful not to overuse someone at that age. I mean, you see what Barcelona have done with Pedri and Gavi, and, you've got to, that's a cautionary tale because they got injured and were out for a very long time. But you don't want that to happen to him. You want him to be a part of the squad going forward, and he looks like he can be. I mean, he looks strong enough to be able to contend with the rigours of the Premier League at 17. That's an amazing thing for the future, isn't it, for Arsenal Football Club?
It is, and I guess you can draw comparisons maybe with Phil Foden. A lot of Man City fans were calling for him to be used before he was, or maybe go out on loan, but I think City played him absolutely brilliantly, and maybe Arteta deserves a bit of credit for the way that he's managed Nwaneri. I think he's the benefit of circumstances as well. No Saka, obviously Raheem Sterling on loan from Chelsea, his season's not got going, but he's injured as well, so all you can do when the opportunity comes your way is take it, and I think he's certainly done that. He's such a lovely player to watch, isn't he?
Yeah.
And he plays without fear, as a lot of youngsters do. He carries the ball very well. He's got brilliant feet, and he's clearly got confidence in his own ability. He believes he belongs on that stage.
And what you need from Arsenal is a bit of variation, more open play goals. Go back to the course of the last few months, and they have scored a lot of set-piece goals. Mikel Merino's goal came indirectly from a corner last night. I don't think there's anything wrong with being nicknamed Set-Piece FC. They should be proud of their ability to maximise every opportunity to score, but you don't want to get over-reliant on that, as I think they had become earlier in the season. Also, it was very close to being a foul on the goalkeeper. It wasn't quite a foul on the goalkeeper.
Well, a good friend of ours was convinced it was, wasn't he? And
it was
shouting from the rooftops about it.
I'm not sure that it was. I thought it was just on the line. But Brentford, come on. You know what's coming your way. They know they're going to try and block the goalkeeper. Do something about it. Build a ring around him if you need to. Yeah,
but I think that's where they missed Ben Mee in that situation. And again, that's why I say perhaps it was a good time to go to Brentford. We don't know how fit Mark Flecker was really either, having come off in the previous game. But yeah, set-piece FC, I think it gives opposition fans a stick to beat Arsenal with.
It's a bit of banter, isn't it?
But their supporters don't care, do they?
No, of course not.
They're content with a win, and if it means a set-piece goal, so be it.
OK, Arsenal's boss, Mikel Arteta, was talking to TNT afterwards, and he was talking about the fact that they need big titles because over the course of his tenure so far, they have been lacking.
And we were thinking about that last night. It's been a lot of highs, a lot of work, a lot of commitment from so many people at the club. We've broken so many records, but the reality is that they still don't have the big titles that we're looking for. So there is a step there, is a gap there that we have to fill, and we are so enthusiastic about it.
Yep. He wants to win silverware. Must Arsenal win silverware this season to have something to show for the improvement that he's undoubtedly brought to the club? Because if you go back 5 years and think about where they were and then see where they are now, perennial contenders for the Premier League, then certainly he deserves a lot of credit. But does that title have to be the Premier League in some fans' eyes? Or is any bit of silverware okay as long as something gets put on the mantelpiece this season? 03717 22 33 44. Does actually all the progress mean nothing unless you win something? 03717 22 33 44. You're listening to Sam Matterface and Alex Crook. We're on talkSPORT with Selco Builders Warehouse. It's where the trade go. Arsenal fans want to hear from you this morning after those comments from Mikel Arteta. Do big titles have to come to the Emirates this season?
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.